Hello everyone, welcome to the Project Brawl Busters FAQ video. Today I'm going to be answering some of your questions and some questions that I've seen floating around pretty frequently in the Discord. Alright, these questions will be separated into categories, and the first one we're going to cover are server questions. Most of these are going to be answered by Tiger, since he's the one actually working directly on the server for the game. And of course, the first one is, what is the current status of the server, and what still needs to be done? So I know everyone really wants to play the game as soon as possible, including myself, but unfortunately it is going to take just a little bit longer. We are pretty close to the point where we can start beta. The things we have left to finish before beta can actually start are the relay server, which is working, but it's not completely finished. Rooms need a few more improvements, the multiplayer rooms that is, and there needs to be a proper login system. So those three things, and then beta should be ready. So even after beta is finished, there's still a few things that are going to need to be worked on before the final release. These include things such as the ranked matchmaking and player stats and records. Those two things in particular, and there's probably some other things as well. Alright, the next question is, will multiplayer games be peer-to-peer? So, the answer here comes from Tiger, and his response is, games are client-server, with one client acting as the server. And so, from what I understand, a lot of people seem to interpret this as peer-to-peer. So, I'm not an expert on this subject by any means, but from what I understand, an actual peer-to-peer system would mean that the host is shared between clients, if I'm understanding that right. And whereas a client server, which is what Brawl Busters uses, there's one player who acts as the server. But I know back in the day a lot of people referred to this as peer-to-peer. So if you're wondering if it's going to basically be the same way that it was in classic Brawl Busters, then the answer is yes. This is pretty much going to work the same way it did as far as I know. Alright, the next question is, will the server be up 24/7? The answer is yes, the server is going to be running 24/7. The only time it won't be running is when there needs to be maintenance done, or if an update comes out, if we happen to do updates. But apart from that, it should always be up. And when there are instances of downtime, we will definitely try to always give people a heads up prior to the server going down. Will all regions be able to play together, is our next question. And the answer is yes. At least for now, we're going to be using one server for the game. The server is located in Germany, so if you're in the EU, that should be really good for you guys. This is something that we may try to address later on, once the game is actually out. If there's a demand for it, we could look into having more than one server available for people in other parts of the world. And I actually think this will be pretty interesting, because it'll be the first time that Brawl Busters players and Zombie Rock players actually interact with each other in-game. So yeah, I think that'll be really cool, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the top players from Zombie Rock going up against some of our top players from Brawl Busters. Okay, so that's it for our server questions, and our next category is game-related questions. So our first question here is, will the game be more similar to Brawl Busters or Zombie Rock? Now, in case people aren't aware, Zombie Rock is the Turkish version of the game, and Brawl Busters is the North American/European version of the game. And these two versions are actually pretty different in a lot of ways. For example, there's exclusive gear in Zombie Rock that we didn't get in Brawl Busters. In Brawl Busters, our max gear level was a lot lower than that of Zombie Rock. There were some events that were only available in Zombie Rock, and it seemed like the game was generally a lot more pay to win in Zombie Rock. So anyway, to answer the question, it'll probably be a good mix of both. There's a lot of exclusive stuff in Zombie Rock that we should definitely pull over to Brawl Busters, and I would be in favor of keeping a lot of the prices for gear more in line with our version of Brawl Busters, and not having everything cost RT. And on top of that, there's probably going to be a decent amount of stuff that's exclusive to Project Brawl Busters, like if we were to have our own gear that wasn't in any version of the game yet, or certain game modifications that weren't in the other versions of the games. Stuff like that would make Project Brawl Busters also its own thing in some ways. And this segues pretty nicely into our next question. Will manga gear be in the game? Most likely, yes. It's still being decided how we would want to handle putting manga gear in the game. For me personally, I don't have very strong feelings one way or the other on this one, but it seems like a lot of people really want it. So the answer, I think the best answer for now is probably. I think that's a good probably on that one. And the next one is, will patches be possible? So from what I understand, yes. This is kind of gonna be mostly up to Tiger probably. If we can do patches, like where we force people to update like they did in the previous version of the game. As far as, is it possible to make changes to the game? Definitely. I've been messing around with a lot of potential changes just to see what's possible. So this one is definitely yes. It is possible to make a lot of changes to the game. And I know back in the day there were a lot of patch ideas that people had for how to improve the game. So again, always open to hearing people's ideas on how the game could be improved. And will there be new content? And this is pretty much the same answer as the previous one. Probably. Is it possible? Yes, definitely. Will it happen? Most likely, if there's demand for it, which it seems like there's a pretty good amount of demand for new content, so that one's probably going to happen. The next question is, will crews/clans return? So back in the day, we had what were referred to as crews, which were our version of clans, and pretty much everything crew related was handled on the Brawl Busters website. I don't think there was anything in-game that was directly related to crews. Will they come back? Definitely. I'm like 90% sure that people are definitely going to bring back crews on their own, even if it has to be a community-driven thing. It seems like it's going to happen. But as for having crew content on the website again, or in-game, that's something that's not really one of the most pressing matters at hand right now. Later on, I would definitely be interested in that, even if it's something like having a in-game shirt for the #1 ranked crew, or bringing back the crew system that was on the website. That would just be really nice to have, I think. So I would be open to that, and I'm sure the other devs are also totally open to that. Up next, we have a question that I know a lot of people, including myself, have been really wanting an answer to. And this is, how will RT be handled? RT was the in-game currency that you had to pay for with real money, and it was pretty hard to earn it in-game at all. I think the only way you could get RT in-game back in the day was through tournaments and events. So we did a poll for this actually, and it seemed like the community really wants RT to be available by doing daily login bonuses as daily mission rewards and for leveling up. And I really agree with this, because as we all know, mission rewards were pretty garbage back in the day. Daily logins basically didn't exist, and level up rewards were also pretty bad. So I think any one of these three would be great, and we'll definitely have RT available from at least one of these for sure, if not more than one. As for tournaments, we'll definitely still do tournaments, and RT will definitely still be one of the rewards you can get from tournaments. And since we're on the topic of RT, I just want to throw in a personal idea that I had for RT. I think it should actually be rebranded to BT, because now that Rock Hippo is no longer associated with the game in any way, shape, or form, it doesn't really make sense to still call it RT, because RT stands for Rock Tokens, because Rock Hippo. BT would make a lot more sense because it's Buster Tokens. That way we'd have Buster Points and we have Buster Tokens, which makes a lot more sense in my opinion. But that's just an idea I had. We could always just still call it RT, but it just seems like it would make more sense to call it something else at this point. Next question is, will there be tournaments? And if so, what will the rewards be? And I pretty much already answered this one. So yeah, there definitely will be tournaments hosted by the Project Brawl Busters devs, and RT will be one of the rewards, and there will probably be other exclusive rewards. It would be really cool to have like exclusive gear that you can only get from winning tournaments, like a t-shirt or something that only people who have won a tournament will have. That'd be a pretty neat reward. What will max gear level be? So I talked about this in one of my other videos already, and I said that I think max gear level should be +8. We could probably do a poll for this one as well and just see what the community says, because again, Zombie Rock had really high max gear level. I want to say it was like plus 12 or plus 15 even for some of the gear, whereas in Brawl Busters, the highest level gear you could get was plus 8. Before that, it was actually plus 7 for a long time until the capsule machine came out. But yeah, I think it would be good to at least start at a lower max gear level than what Zombie Rock had, and we could always go up from there. What modes will be available in beta? So hopefully all of them. Our plan is to have all of them. Obviously not ranked, but ranked isn't really a mode per se. As far as modes, we're going to try to have boss battle, zombie infection, zombie survival, team deathmatch, glow rush, glow control. I think that's all of them. And of course, single player. Yeah, we're going to try to have all the modes available for beta, so people can play all of them. That would be great. Will ranked return? So the answer is not in beta, as I said before, but we definitely want it to return for the full game. So once beta's out, we'll start looking into ranked a lot more to try to get that going. So the answer is yes, but just not for a while. Okay, and that pretty much covers it for game-related questions. Now on to our last category, which I refer to as other questions. And the first one is, how much risk is involved when it comes to a DMCA? So I've actually seen a lot of people asking about how risky it is for us to be doing this. The answer is probably not that risky, if we're being real about it. Private servers don't usually come under too much trouble unless they try to make a profit off of it, is what it seems like. I know there have been cases with like World of Warcraft Classic when there were private servers for that got shut down, but that's a pretty big game. It's probably not a great comparison to a game like Brawl Busters. And yeah, the case with Blizzard and World of Warcraft is the only one that really comes to mind. I'm sure it's happened before, but it does seem to be pretty rare. And in Brawl Busters' case, I don't know how much the publishers would even have to do with anything, but Rock Hippo is dead, which was our publisher for Brawl Busters. Level Up is dead too, as far as I can tell, and they were the publisher for Brawl Busters Philippines, which was another version of the game. Joy Game does still seem to be around. They were the publisher for Zombie Rock. And the developers themselves, Sky and Globe, I saw somebody sent them an email asking about Brawl Busters and if they had any plans to bring it back. They responded that they had no plans in the near future to bring it back. I don't know how much that matters, but that was their response from what I saw. It would be pretty surprising if they went after Project Brawl Busters with a cease and desist, I think. But anything is possible. It just seems really unlikely. The next question is, how do I get beta access? So I see this one from a lot of new people that come into the Discord for the first time. And the answer is, it's a random raffle that we do periodically. Typically the raffle happens when some sort of milestone is reached, like a certain number of players joining the Discord or a certain number of subscribers subscribing to the YouTube channel, stuff like that. And Beautiful, the owner of the Discord, is always sure to post in announcements when he's going to be doing a raffle. And he usually posts it days in advance, so people have a lot of time to join the raffle and a lot of time to see the announcement. So always be on the lookout for that. Hopefully when beta happens, we'll start doing a lot more raffles, because I think it would be good to get even more people into the beta to try it out. But yeah, that's how you enter beta for now. And the final question is, are there any incentives to donating to the project? The answer is there is only one incentive, and that is if you donate, you get the donator role in the Discord, which puts you above everyone else, and you have a highlighted name that's different colored from everyone else. So it's pretty neat. But as far as like in-game rewards or getting beta access, no. There's no direct game rewards associated with donating to the project. Donations are appreciated, but yeah, there's no in-game rewards that you will get by donating. So don't donate if you're doing it because you think that it will get you into the beta sooner, or because you will get some sort of special benefit in-game. And that just about covers it for the FAQ video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll get beta very soon. I'm really looking forward to getting back into this game and playing some multiplayer matches with everyone. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm not really sure what I'll be doing next. I don't really have any immediate plans for another video, but if anything interesting comes up, I will definitely let you guys know. So see you then.